Now, I did promise you an interview with the wonderful Explode the TV, so here is a taster.
I've been through the pain and the tears and the grief. I tried to let go through my clenching teeth. I gave it all up to the highest power, 'cause you were the strength in my darkest hour. This is for you. This is for you. I believe it. This is for you. Blinded by lights on my phone, so true. I took and I took, broke my heart in two. I healed like a cup, bleeding on my face. Broken and tired, I rejoined the race. This is for you. This is for you. I believe it. This is for you. I can burn the past, but I still love you. I can burn the past, I miss you. Memories remain like a mushroom cloud. Scars on my heart try to make strange sounds. Sometimes it feels like it's one big fight. Everything's going to be alright. This is for you. This is for you. I believe it. This is for you.
It was a sheer privilege and a joy to chat with these guys. This is how it went. Okay, listen to Ken Gadd. This is Gaddland on Radio Scarborough, radioscarborough.com, believe it or not. We're on FM 107.6 and around the whole wide world. And I've got in my virtual studio today, the amazing Bentley Browning from quite an amazing band, a very interesting band actually, called Explode the TV. Bentley, welcome to Radio Scarborough.
Thanks for having me, Ken. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Now, you're down in London at the moment.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, used to live in Sheffield for a long time, but came down here in the end of the 80s and have been here ever since.
Yeah.
I miss the place. So I do know Scarborough, but I've not been there for a while. Bar 2 years in Barcelona, I've been living down here, yeah. But I do miss Sheffield and the north in general. But down here it is, that's where I've got my life sorted and going, really. So there's no escape for me.
Yeah, so the band, which is Explode the TV, we've not just got Bentley in the studio tonight, we've also got Chris, the new boy, I believe. Should I call you that, Chris?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
He's the newest.
Yeah, so Chris, when did you join the band?
I think around February this year, just Valentine's Day or something like that.
And I've got to say this, I shouldn't, but what do you think of the show so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's been absolutely fabulous. I didn't expect to join the band, actually. That's Bentley's doing, really. He can explain, I guess, why. But
Okay, yeah. Bentley, why? Why Chris?
It was very interesting how we met Chris, because I was assisting a blind singing teacher at a college where I work at. And Chris was in the class as a singing student. And, obviously everyone's into music there, so we were talking. And then he said that he produced and he used to play drums. So I was like, oh, really? Because we were looking for a drummer. So I was like, oh, you should get back into it. Or you should come down for just a quick jam with us, just have a... And me being quite forceful, I managed to sort of persuade him to at least think about it. And as far as I know, Chris called his mum and said, should I play drums again? Because he'd obviously done loads of gigs as a guitarist and drummer and whatever. So I thought, I've got to get this man at least try the band out. And is that right, Chris? Would that be fair enough? And you just came down, we had a rehearsal and then joined?
That's pretty close. That's pretty close. The funny story behind that is that I joined the singing classes. I never thought to go back to drumming, really. And when I was leaving for the first class, I said to my girlfriend, every time I was trying to sing, I ended up playing drums. And there we go. It happened again. So after 18 years in being kind of on a detox from drumming, I started playing drums again.
Yeah, you came out of retirement, Ken. It was literally come out of retirement from playing drums.
This is just like one of those incredible dream moments, isn't it? Where we were talking. Bentley and I were talking, Chris, in what I call the green room beforehand, where we just talk about what we're going to talk about, etc. And Bentley was saying how he started off on drums, and I'm a guitar player. But I want to be a drummer. And there's something weird about going on here about the three of us.
It is weird because when I was a kid, 10 years old, I wanted to be a guitarist, and me and my mate, we signed up for the music school, and he wanted to be a guitarist. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do the drums then, and I ended up being a drummer.
It was meant to be.
It was. Some things aren't meant to be. Now we've got Andy. Andy's just appeared.
Oh, has Andy joined? Right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, do you want me to let him in?
Yeah.
It's your choice.
What?
Let's get fun.
I can't leave him wait. It was just going so well as well. Oh, no.
Well, we should wait for Max as well. At some point.
Is he coming?
I don't know.
Oh, crikey, am I going to get the lot of you?
Oh, dear. Yeah, too much, isn't it?
Okay, hi, Andy.
Hi, Ken. How you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Hey.
This is going to take a lot of editing, I think. But no, maybe not.
You should have told. You should have told me. I'd just.
No, maybe we just do this as is. We've just been joined by Andy, who is actually the bass player in the band, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I saw you with a beard in a picture. But
I've got a little beard.
Well, I shave mine off. I grow it occasionally. I've never quite done the goatee like Chris has got, but I'm
working on it.
I might work on that one.
Yeah.
So we were just basically all introducing ourselves. We've been talking about drums and our collective interest in drums. Drummers, obviously, heavily influenced by bass players. Or are bass players heavily influenced by drummers?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a correlation between the two, because obviously you've got the rhythm thing. I was very interested in playing drums when I first, sort of got introduced to music. And but of course, like a lot of people, they're so loud, aren't they? And so the parents, like, look at another instrument, son. But I did kind of dabble with drums when I had the chance. But bass definitely appealed to me, and the opportunity to get a bass from my then sister's boyfriend and now brother-in-law had a spare bass, so I picked that up, and then I worked in a wash-up and did a paper round to buy my own bass, and so I certainly sort of earned it, if you know what I mean. But influenced by bass players and drummers as well, so
if I can say something to it, I would say that the best grooves are made when the bass and drums are avoiding each other.
Avoiding?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation, Chris. So many people say they work best when they're in sync.
True, but then again, they have those gaps for the groove to actually just shine on.
Now we're talking
about the gaps that they're playing. Yeah, less is more. Space
is everything. Good. Yes.
Bentley definitely likes space, because when I often come up with a bass line, it's as a bass player and a musician, it's often a little bit complicated. So Bentley's like, oh no, simplify that, take out some of the notes. And so that's always helpful to have somebody that is kind of thinking about the song more than the technicality of the bass drum, or so that's always helpful.
As a singer, I kind of stand there as the audience member when you guys play, so it's kind of good. I get an overall perspective on it, which is nice. But Andy, we just described in depth how Chris joined the band. Apparently joined in February this year. But yeah, the story of how he joined the band is a good one, because he was in my singing class, so it was good.
Yeah. So how did the band actually form, Bentley?
I think it was around about 2011. It's weird. I've got Facebook to thank, because the first member I got in touch with was Andy, the bass player. Was that right, Andy? It was Facebook. I saw a post you did. We agreed on something on Facebook. And I think you came along, Andy, to a little acoustic thing I was doing or something.
Yeah, I was playing in the same night, and I was playing with another artist.
Oh, we were on the same bill.
Yeah, and
you
came on and did a couple of songs, and I liked the songs, and I think that's, and then it was Facebook. It was like connected through people.
Wow, yeah. So Andy and I have been together like since 2011.
Yeah,
something like that.
So is it fair to say that you nicked Andy from his previous band?
I don't know. I think you were just playing with a few people, weren't you?
Yeah, it was more of a session, to be honest, Ken, which was a good little gig. But I suppose I was a gun for hire.
Yeah, I actually can't remember that gig. What was it? Was I playing in that band Zero Star?
No, it was an acoustic kind of evening, and I can't remember who you had playing guitar, but somebody playing acoustic guitar and you were singing. Yeah. But what I noticed about that evening and those songs was that they came through acoustically, and I think that's really important. If the songs work with just a vocal and a guitar, it's usually a good sign. So that kind of caught my attention.
Yeah. And then we went on to find, we must have found someone to play guitar.
Well, Corsi was already playing guitar in the band.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Believe it or not, Ken, this band used to be a three-piece with Andy playing bass, rather like, Royal Blood, where it sounds like a guitar as well. We did a whole album as a three-piece.
Yeah.
But recently we got Max in, who bizarrely I used to do comedy gigs for. It's an event he ran. But no idea he played guitar. It was just a guy who ran a comedy gig in a church. So one day I was on Instagram and I just saw him playing guitar to a Suede song, and I thought, what? And of course, I needed a guitarist for this band, and so I ended up doing this whole I invited him. Ended up doing a whole solo album with him, and then basically said, "Look, you might as well just join the band. We're a three-piece, but we need a guitarist." And And that's when I think properly Explode the TV this year started for me properly.
Yeah.
And the best lineup, best songs, best load of doors opening, it just transformed everything.
Yeah. Obviously, one of the things that intrigues me is how bands form. And, when you look back over musical history, whether it's Led Zeppelin or whoever it is, it's also random.
Yeah.
It really is completely random. And it's just about who turns up at the right time. And that chemistry, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what it's about, the chemistry.
And as well, how the actually sound and music changes when the members are just swapped or exchanged.
Yes, exactly. And one person can make a massive change.
Oh, yeah. It changes the whole sound, the whole direction.
Yeah.
And a big change is when Max, the guitarist, came in. Because it set us free. We, did a great album as a 3-piece, but it's much more rocky, much more direct. And when the guitarist came in, Max, it was just we could be a bit more melodic, and we could go back and do the older songs that we had when we used to have a guitarist years ago. So it just changed everything, yeah. But literally, you're seeing the band now, Ken, when we've just done basically a busy year, and it's like the first year of the band in this current format.
So it's a bit like a rebirth, then.
Yeah, I think you've got it. Yeah,
Oh, that energizes me. So we're going to listen to a track now, so which of the tracks? Well, which track would you say would signify your rebirth as a band?
Well, I think it's probably worth. If you've got Everything Points to You, that would signify the first track we did in the studio with the current guitar player. So that would be the beginning of it.
Okay, right. Well, let's listen to Everything Points to You by Explode the TV.
You tick most of the boxes in the window. The trail of dust lies in your blinking eye. You tasted all the sounds of a stolen future. Emptiness abounds, you wonder why.
I could live my whole life.
Well, that was Everything Points to You by Explode the TV. And yeah, I have in my virtual studio today Bentley, Chris and Andi from the band. And okay, how did it all start? What's the history of the band, Bentley? You were a guy in Sheffield, you moved to London.
Moved to London, joined various bands as a drummer, stand-up drummer. I was in a band called US UK, or a sort of rap metal band, quite seminal, because it was just before Rage Against the Machine took over. They were did great. They supported Better Faith No More, but they weren't good enough. You know, we all admitted that, and we did a couple of singles on our own. Didn't really get anywhere, but it was a good live band. But then moved and went to Spain, lived and worked as an actor for 2 years. Came back, was confident enough to ditch the drums and just be a singer. Formed a variety of bands, and eventually this one, Explode the TV. That's a short version.
Okay, but Explode the TV started in 2011 with you and Andi.
Yeah.
And it's now 2023.
Yeah.
We just joined the band.
Yeah, we're 3 albums. We're 3 albums in.
Yeah.
And, the album on tracks that we're recording at the moment are going to make up the 4th album. So that's a really exciting period. And as we said earlier, it's a bit of a rebirth for the band, with Chris and Max joining. But it's great that we've got a back catalogue of songs and albums and history. Most of it's good. Some of it's average. Some of it's bad, but most of it's good. I'm pretty proud of the albums that we've done so far. And the lineup has changed throughout the albums and the time, and you can hear the different influences that the different members bring on those albums. So check those out if you get a chance. But looking forward to releasing the new album when we finish recording all the tracks, which is hopefully going to be in the new year or spring. So we're looking to tour it then. So we haven't decided on a name yet, but I've got some ideas which I haven't put to the guys yet.
Uh-huh. So the first album was called God Box. Second album was called Rhymes for Robots. The third album was called Normalized. Yeah, that's the 3-piece where we just did it sort of like stark and minimal and
So the band's been going, and you got a track history here. But you got changes in lineup. It's all moving forward.
Yeah, but that track, Everything Points to You, is a really important one for us, because when you get new members, you're kind of finding a direction, which you kind of still are, but at the root, it's melodic, driving, sort of rhythmic rock. But that track was just like written because Max is very inspired by sort of people like Johnny Marr, Stone Roses, that sort of thing. And basically the band write the music and I just do the lyrics and melodies, and we did that song. So, this is quite poppy, this is catchy, let's go in and do it. And it's held its own in the set. We still play it, and we did a really funny video to it, which featured people like Napoleon and people in weird clothes. So that's good on YouTube.
Funny thing about that video as well for that song is that was the first time I still didn't know what was going on with the band. So I got invited to filming the video, and I barely knew the song, and I was just told just to sit behind the drums and do. Yeah, but I don't know how to play that. So you won't be seen. It's fine.
That was your first thing with the band, wasn't it?
That was my first thing with the band.
That was your introduction to the band. That is
our interview.
Of the interview. That's the video. Yeah.
Can you mime to drums? Yeah, he can mime. He's in.
I love it. So you mentioned Johnny Marr and the Max connection. So I've got to ask this. Influences. What do you think the band sounds like? How would you define it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can think about that. Andi, what do you think?
Well, I guess our current vibe is a little bit Police. It's definitely rock, it's definitely alternative, but a little bit like the Police. But then I'm quite influenced by Sting's bass lines, and I suppose the Police were quite punky, weren't they? So we're definitely a bit punky. We're definitely a bit rocky, but we also have got that pop edge with the melodies, which again I think the Police did well. But it was always difficult comparing yourself or trying to describe yourself with other bands. I mean, So yeah, I'll pass it over to you guys.
My blueprint, Ken, was to create a poppy Jane's Addiction with a bit of U2 in there as well. Wow. And as it's turned out, it still has become sort of more Suede, Manson, 90s, 80s.
Yeah.
But Max is able to bring in a lot more modern guitar sounds and textures, which I love, because there is a certain, we're not tied down so much, but there's a certain goth poppy vibe to a couple of the tracks, and it's melodic.
So would you say that you have the raw energy that Jane's Addiction, for example, would?
It's not as heavy as that, and I never wanted it to be, but the atmospherics, yes.
Yeah.
Not as intensely heavy, but that slight ethereal vibe, yes, I would say we have, because I've got an effects unit on the vocals, basically.
I think one of the other things that defines what we're doing at the moment is, and hopefully this is the case, that there is a joy to the music. I think a lot of the bands that, Jane's Addiction or, a lot of the heavier bands, often it's quite dark music. And what we're trying to do and what's coming through, we hope, is like a bit more lightness and a bit more joy and a bit more hope in the music, witithout it being,
uplifting.
Dancing. It's uplifting, and I think that's hopefully that's coming across. Although Bentley does like to write verses in minor keys and then major keys for the choruses. So that is something that obviously a minor key is going to be a little bit darker, and then a happier chorus.
Yeah. So you're going down and then up again.
That roller coaster.
Yeah,
and to add to that mix, from drumming perspective, I've never been a heavy rocker kind of a style. So my go-to would be more like a funk or even disco from the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Wow.
So that just to throw it to the mix. Well,
I'm just living it. I'm just living the way this is all coming together.
Chris, you're out of the band.
Yeah.
It's therapy, Ken, this, for a band. It's really good, because I'm finding out all this stuff about the band that I never knew or be bothered to ask.
It's always the case, you should stop doing interviews. It could be destructive,
What I did want to tell the rest of the band, we were speaking about, Ken, which I thought is amazing, particularly for where we're at. You said for the contacts, it's all about contacts, a band getting somewhere, and you never know who knows who. I've written that down. You never know who knows who. And you said it could be just one half a sentence, or it could just be one little word somewhere. And you think, that's definitely what's happening now with the way we're playing to people.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it before my eyes.
It's an important thing, and it's going to lead me on to the next question, which is, where are you going in the future? But I mean, they call it the rule of 7, Bentley. In theory, I've never tried it. I don't believe it works, but I'm sure somebody does. It's the rule of 7 that you can get to anybody in the world in 7 steps.
Right.
7 connections.
Because
somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows.
Yeah.
Which is a scary idea.
Yeah. So if I wanted to meet Bill Gates, then there's 6 people in the way.
That's in theory. Okay. I don't think it works in practice.
It's probably best if I don't meet Bill Gates, to be honest. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so at the moment you're doing loads of gigs in London, London and the surrounding southern counties, I suppose you'd call it, because that's where you're based. Okay.
Yeah.
What's in the future? What's in the pipeline? Because you're doing recording as well. You got a new album coming out.
Yeah, it's a festival.
A new direction for the band.
Yeah, once the album's done, hopefully January, February, March, get out, do the festivals, and maybe a bit of a tour next year. But it all hinges on the album being finished. But we have been recording. We've been releasing a single just about every month recently.
Yeah.
So that won't take too long. But we are really doing a Christmas tune called After the Stars Burn Out. We're recording that on December the 4th. And then that'll be it for the year. But how many more tracks, guys, till we've got an album? 2 or 3, 4 more?
Yeah, we've definitely got another two really strong songs that were written, and it's actually in the live set.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in and record those early part of next year. But as Bentley mentioned, we've got this Christmas. Well, I say it's a Christmas song. It's a song that kind of leans it towards Christmas. And we were going to record it a few weeks ago, but the producer couldn't do the date, so we're cutting it a little bit fine to get it out for Christmas. But we certainly are. Yeah. We think it's such a strong song, and it's a bit different from what we usually do. So it's a little bit scary, a little bit exciting to go in and record this song, and with a new producer as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But it's kind of going in the right direction.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed there. If you can get the Christmas song out in time, bang it my way, and we'll play it on the station.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That's for sure.
Nice one, yeah.
Okay, gigs versus recording. What do you prefer?
Well, live for me.
Gigs. Yeah, live, definitely live gigs.
I enjoy recording, but live is where we have the shop front, as it were.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. It's music to my ears. Yeah. Well, I'm really interested in Naked Eyes because that's the first track you sent me.
Yeah, that's very much a live favourite.
Why?
Literally, one rehearsal, Andy started playing a bass, and a driving bass rhythm, and then we just wrote it in a few minutes and thought, shall we play it on our next gig, which was a few days away, and we did it. And it just, I don't know, instantly, I think it's the chorus, the Naked Eyes thing. It just gets, people started screaming it and shouting, jumping around. And we thought, oh, that's it. That's actually our sort of biggest live track, really, at the moment, possibly.
I fill my mind with sugar, sweet distraction. When all the time it rocks me from inside, I feel a rising sense of mad attraction. I need to see
explode the television with naked eyes, and we have them in the studio right now. And you're going to tell me all about this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's always a good test to write a song and then go and perform it, and to see what the reaction is, to see if it's any good. Because the last song you wrote was always the best song, which is not always the case, because you've got to road test it first. So we took it out onto the gig, and it went down really well. So that was a good sign that it was a reasonable song. So then we recorded it and we shot the live video from the gig in Finsbury Park in the summer. So that all came together really well.
For me, it was great because it was the first track I was doing with the band where I didn't have to repeat anyone's playing, so I could play myself, my drums, and that was great.
Yeah.
And how do you? This is a tough question, Chris. How do you think you shaped that song? What do you think you brought to it?
I was nagging them during recording about the hi-hat.
I love all these technical little issues.
Yeah, well, basically, there is the song, which you could probably hear it. It's a simple song, and I think that's my influence in it, just to not overcomplicate the drumming. So the drumming is very, very simple. That's why I was going on about the hi-hat, just to give a little bit of me there, just trying to influence the track. But I think the beauty of that song and the whole track and how the force goes through it is just basically, it's just a simple track.
Yeah, but it's the little bits of detail that make it important.
That's true. That's why hi-hat.
And we underestimate drummers sometimes. It's those little things that just make a big difference. And Andy, you mentioned Police, and something that always fascinated me about Stuart Copeland is those little things that he does that just make a massive difference.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think if I've come up with a bass line, or there's a vibe going or a rhythm going, you want the drummer to pick up and play something that plays off of you. There is that kind of connection, because if the drummer plays something really off and the wrong thing, then the bass line isn't going to develop, or the song's not going to develop. So it's all key. So obviously Chris heard what I was doing with the bass line, just picked up immediately with the hi-hat and the rim shot thing, and that just that's where it took off. And Bentley, the way Bentley writes, which I find is very interesting, he sings the kind of the melody, and he makes up words as he's going. So it's quite interesting when you listen back, because you hear some very strange kind of lyrics coming out, and then he goes away and forms them into the lyric of the song, which is a great way of writing. I really enjoy the way the band write together.
Yeah, they're not even proper words I use at first. It's like, they're not even words.
Yeah, but that's your drumming background again. It's rhythmic.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
which is going to. I'm going to hate to say this, but this is what I suppose a lot of rap and all that is about. Which I'm not too keen on, but
I was a big rap fan.
But it is that rhythmic feel to a vocal. So you guys all bounce off each other. I mean, you said earlier, Chris or Andy, I can't remember which one it was, how the bass and drums shouldn't be in alignment; they should be almost antagonistic to each other. And I think you've just explained that.
What I meant by that is more or less, that produces the unexpected groove. Just not to follow the rule of the bass and the drums should always be together in sync. And I don't believe in that. It's just basically what it is. What you hear, where is the groove? This is what you follow. You follow the energy, not the actual mathematics of playing.
Yeah, energy is all.
Chemistry, definitely. Chemistry and energy.
Yeah. Now I've got to mention my mate Billy Brown here. because the reason I'm talking to you guys today is that a guy I know quite well came to see you at Camden, and he was just blown away.
At the sound check as well, he approached me after the sound check, which was amazing.
Nice one.
He just said, "Ken, you've got to listen to these guys. These are incredible."
Wow.
And yeah, so I got in touch, and I've listened to you guys, and you are incredible.
Oh,
That's
thank
great
you very
to
much.
hear. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
It's I'm absolutely loving the stuff, and I know everybody on the show will love the stuff. Yeah, we've already done where is going from here. We've got to get you up to Yorkshire. You've got to do a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. We've got to break out of London.
London is where it's at, isn't it?
Well, it's near. It's near enough, but you can't keep playing the same area again and again and again. It's best to sort of at least get out to the M25.
The dreaded Watford Gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once the album's done, Ken, and we've got product as well. I think and something to promote. At the moment, we're doing the gigs, we're enjoying it, we're building a bit of more of a following, and we're getting more comfortable with each other and comfortable with the songs. And once the album's finished, I think spring we'll take it out and we'll actually do and tour the album and throw a few songs in. From the old albums as well, but I think that's kind of where I would like to go with it, and probably the other guys too.
Yeah.
If I can say, my favorite to play, especially on the radio, because on the live gig it will require very, very good sound engineer, and it's driving yourself.
Well, I was going to suggest that. Yeah,
driving yourself is a good radio song. We're really good. Kind of a 80s vibe. It's nothing. I haven't participated in making it, but yeah, I really like that track.
Ready to put your heart in motion, changes everything. I'm clinging on to my life too tightly, I should let it begin. Blinding sun on my windscreen makes me lose control. Then I see what it all means, then so does my soul. Driving yourself from your cradle to grave, I see the road signs, but I'm still in a daze. I tried almost everything to find out my truth. When I'm at the wheel, all the wheels come loose. Driving yourself, driving yourself. If you told me the things I'm chasing would chase me away, if I told you the things I ignore would make me pay, lighting sun on my windscreen makes me lose control. Then I see what it all means, and then so does my soul. Driving yourself from your cradle to grave, I see the road signs, but I'm still in a daze. I tried almost everything to find out my truth. When I'm at the wheel, all the wheels come loose. Driving yourself, driving yourself. When
we've had a great time. It's I'm in the virtual studio with Explode the TV. They're an incredibly interesting bunch of guys, as you've realised already, and so we're gonna have to say goodbye. Is there anything else what you guys want to say before we leave?
But I just want to say thanks for having us, basically, and getting us on a proper good radio station. We appreciate it a lot, and we'll just be, if we can, keep you up to date with more material. Basically, we'll let the music do the talking.
Yeah, well, that would be great. Just keep in touch and keep it going, because you give it to us, we push it out there. Simple as that.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I like to be an ambassador of bands like yourselves because you're doing good stuff. Chris, anything to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna say lots of love, good energy for the next year, and Merry Christmas and this stuff.
Andy.
Yeah, just thanks for having us, Ken, and thanks for everybody for supporting the band as well to this point, and for coming along to gigs and playing the tracks, and thanks for playing our tracks, and hopefully we're giving people enjoyment and bringing joy and an uplifting experience at the gigs and through the music as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll continue to do that when we get the album out as well next year.
Great stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm just miffed that I've not seen you live yet.
Thanks to Billy as well.
Yeah, well, big thanks to Billy.
Yes, respect to Billy.
Pointing me in the right direction. But I'm going to have to get cross with Billy and say, I'm going to have to come down and skip out on your sofa or something.
Or if there's any gig we can do up there, we can come up and play.
There are loads of gigs up here. You wouldn't believe it. The north is quite a very hospitable place to gig.
Good, because I could either do a gig in Sheffield as well at the same time, or get some people from Sheffield across. But probably sort Sheffield out as well.
Well,
let's go to the north.
Yeah,
the north is good. The north is good.
It is.
Obviously, I'm a Yorkie. I'm North Yorkshire, but it's. Manchester's allegedly quite nice, except the other side of the Pennines, and the War of the Roses is still alive and kicking. And there's we've got loads of venues up the whole area: Leeds, Manchester, Sheffield, York. Then they're the big cities. Scarborough is although it looks like a little seaside town on the edge of nowhere, we have got the highest number of musicians, active playing, gigging musicians per head of population than anywhere else in the UK.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, my brother's band, Caffeine, used to play up there a lot,
Right.
I don't know if it's Cleethorpes or what, but they used to go again and again and pack out the same club.
Yeah,
regularly.
Oh yeah, it's a great scene up here. It really is. But having said that, it's a long trek up the M1.
Yeah. Your
latest single, which is Bentley,
Found You in My Head Tonight,
and you
every obsessive thinker in the world,
and you heard it from the man himself.
Right in front of me,
Explode the TV with their new single, Found You in My Head Tonight. Definitely worth checking these guys out. And you can do this by getting onto their website at explodethetv.com. That's explodethetv.com. And also on Facebook. Just search Explode the TV on Facebook and you will get them, okay? Or you use the hashtag Explode the TV.